Folks, welcome back to 3 Zen. Bobo here. So now I'm going to take another path, if you will, and talk a little bit about military brats. It is a favorite subject of mine, very near and dear to my heart. I grew up as an Air Force brat from 1950 through 1964. I grew up at Selfridge Air Force Base in Michigan, Kadena on Okinawa, Davis-Monthan on Tucson, Arizona, Ramey Air Force Base in Puerto Rico, Westover in Massachusetts, and culminated my Brat experience in Wiesbaden Air Force Base, West Germany in 1964. I still find myself calling it West Germany because that's the way I kind of learned it. At any rate, it was an experience I would not trade for anything in the world. It was so rich, experiencing different cultures, different people, different heritages, different traditions. Just a wonderful experience growing up as a kid. And I tell people the world was my playground, and it certainly was. From jungles in Okinawa to deserts in Tucson, we used to climb all over the airplanes out in the boneyard. At that time, in 1955, 56, they didn't have a fence around the boneyard, so I could go out there. Matter of fact, that's where I got my first 9 MiG kills, was in the cockpits of those old airplanes out there. Down to Puerto Rico, learning how to skin dive and field strip a coconut, and so forth. You get the idea. We also found ourselves at one time playing in abandoned and blown out German bunkers in Chambly, France. Now that was interesting. I'll share some more about those here in another Brat video along the way. At any rate, I've always held pride in being an Air Force brat, a military brat. I don't shy away from the word brat. There are some that do, and God bless them. My mom introduced me to that term, brat. She would say, "You're just a little brat, if you will." And you know, mom, that was mom, and I understood her. So if somebody watching this has a problem with my use of the word brat, take it up with my mom. Leave me out of it. I don't do second party pissing contests. I love the moniker military brat or Air Force brat. I always will. Now, what got me so passionate about this was reading Mary Edward Wersch's book, Military Brats, Childhood Inside the Fortress. Actually, let me redo that again, okay? Just erase that part. I don't have a teleprompter. It's Military Brats, Legacies of Childhood Inside the Fortress. And in the introduction by Pat Conroy, there are some things introduced that I'm going to cover in another video by itself, because it's so important to recognizing the sacrifices of these kids, of our kids, as we had our careers and our parents had their careers. So suffice to say at this juncture, I'll have a little bit more to tell you about that here soon, within the next week or so. That being said, to give you a little bit of a tease, the official flower of the military child is the dandelion, because the dandelion survives just about anywhere the seeds land, and they spread throughout the world in all kinds of climates and all kinds of environments and so forth. And again, there's a lot of teasers in this presentation in there. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. Military brats in and of themselves have their own stories, but I'm going to share them here on this platform. At least I'm going to share my stories. I heard quite a few different ones at a couple of events I attended, sponsored by Overseas Brats. Wonderful organization. Shout out to Joe Condrell. He's just done a fantastic job with that organization. But I heard stories sitting around tables at dinner in the evenings over coffee that just cracked me up. And the stories I heard were like the flying stories I tell here. they were our stories. I sat down with these kids, all in their 60s and 70s, some in their 40s and 30s, but by and large, they're my era. They would tell a story, and I instantly knew them. I instantly knew them. And it was just so fun to listen to those stories. So that being said, that's what the Brat thread's going to be all about. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed telling them. And I think I'll leave it at this for now. With that being said, this is Bobo. Base gear, stop.